In the next hour, 3 eyewitness accounts of the paranormal, each with compelling evidence. Only one will test. Proof positive. For David Ray and his family, a visit to a haunted house resulted in an encounter with the unexplained. Does this videotape contain proof of a ghost?
They're flying all over the place.
They're over my ears.
Look at them.
Allison Reed claims she and her children have had numerous experiences with alien abduction. Now she may have the evidence to prove it. Several items bearing unusual colored stains.
My son came running into my room screaming, frantic. He was trying to tell me, Mommy, Mommy, these people are in my room.
During a visit to a Civil War battlefield, Jeffrey Keane was overcome by a wave of emotional flashbacks. Is he the reincarnation of a Confederate general, dead for more than a century?
I couldn't breathe. I started crying. I thought maybe I was having a heart attack.
3 remarkable stories of the paranormal. Only one will be verified by scientific investigation. Which one do you think will test? Proof positive. They call them orbs, bizarre luminescent globes said to be the energy emitted by a ghost. And if you think an orb can't be frightening, then you haven't met David Ray. David believes he captured a swarm of orbs with his home video camera. In Villisca, Iowa, they call this place the Axe Murder House. No one lives here anymore. Today, it is a tourist attraction, and people like David Ray come from miles around to spend the night, because there's a chance they might see a ghost.
I think it was like around 11 o'clock. I thought I'd get my camera out.
This is David Ray.
No sooner than I turned it on and opened the viewfinder, I saw things flying around.
This is David Ray's video footage.
They just see right there. See it?
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
They're circling up in the corner of that ceiling. Ryan, get over here. I am not bullshitting you.
I'd never seen anything like it. It was amazing. It was shocking. It was startling.
Look at him. Look at all those.
How about you, woman?
The orb went up that stovepipe, hovered, came straight down between them and straight at me. As it came across the room, it opened, it manifested or opened up into like this little headed winged creature with sparklies in it.
Look at them.
It's right
Oh my, they're in here. Oh my God. That was a big thing that looked like it had wings. There, look at them. Look at them.
It's right
Oh my, they're in here. Oh my God.
I think it was an apparition, possibly, or, you know, I mean, there's no explanation for what it was as far as I'm concerned. I'm not a scientist.
What you see on that tape is exactly what happened that night, October 23rd, 2003.
Did David Ray and his family really see a ghost? Perhaps the answer can be found in the bloody history of the Axe Murder House.
This was one of the tragedies of the time and one of the tragedies of this town. And you see this, the Titanic went down in April of 1912, and this was one of the first major events after the Titanic that was, you know, headline stuff.
On June 9th, 1912, an unknown assailant entered the house and bludgeoned to death 8 people with the blunt end of an axe. 6 of the victims were young children.
This crime was called by local newspapers the most heinous crime in the history of mankind. And I say worse in terms of the number of victims, the brutality with which they were murdered, and the total innocence of sleeping children being killed the way they were. One of the doctors felt that the crime had taken place with the killer going from bed to bed, probably holding the axe near the top. and striking each victim perhaps just once with the back side of the axe, and returned later and used the sharp side of the axe.
Inside the house that night were Josiah B. Moore, his wife Sarah, and their 4 children, Herman, Catherine, Boyd, and Paul. Also murdered in the house that night were 2 neighbor girls, Lena and Ina Stillinger. The gruesome crime was never solved, and it wasn't long before the rumors began to surface that the murder house was haunted. In recent years, more and more people like David Ray, have become convinced.
I and my family came down for family outing. Kind of my wife's idea, go to the haunted house, axe murder house. We basically came in, took the tour with Darwin, the owner, and then we got settled in the living room. I think it was like around 11 o'clock. We basically came in here. Everybody kind of staked out their own spot, you know, dropped their sleeping bag and their pillow and whatnot, and I thought I'd get my camera out. Right exactly on this spot. As I'm looking through my viewfinder, when I first brought the camera up, I saw things flying around.
Right by Heather's head. There's orbs all over the place. There. You see it?
Right above Butch's head, right up there.
These things moved in 3-dimensional circumferences around people and whatnot.
Dave, I
See
see
them?
it. I see
Look
it.
at them. Look at them. They're flying all over the place.
There was over by Ian's.
Look at them.
There's a lot of tapes like this that are floating around that people have taken. Only he has this one that does open up. And it is something that I have not seen before.
Oh my God!
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. For a moment, I thought, I don't want to stay in this house.
That was a big thing that looked like it had wings.
David Ray certainly tells a very compelling story. But does his videotape really contain evidence of a ghost?
I can't explain. Don't know what it is, but I caught it on film.
David is confident that it does. So confident, he agreed to take a polygraph exam, even before we had his videotape tested.
I was all for a lie detector test because I wanted to prove to the world that this is real.
David, we're going to begin this test now. Look straight ahead now. Close your eyes. We gather historical information about the person that we're testing. The most important part of a polygraph test is the pre-test interview. Is your first name David?
Yes.
Were you born in Des Moines, Iowa?
Yes.
Did you falsify the image that you caught on your video camera?
No.
Before you saw the apparition on your video camera, did you falsify the picture?
No.
Is the picture image on your video camera 100% authentic?
Yes.
The test is over. How did David Ray do? Will the results validate his story?
It was very definite. Absolutely. In my opinion, Mr. Ray substantially didn't tell the truth. He showed deception on the relevant questions pertaining to the video. Tamper with your video. I like to see everybody pass a polygraph test, but it's not even close with Mr. Ray. You know, he needs to talk to you about this, and I hope he tells what really happened.
I'm shocked. I don't believe it. To put it to you straight, I don't believe it. I know I was telling the truth. The tape is what it is.
Mr. Ray's a nice fella.
Yes.
Very polite.
No.
But I go by what my charts say. And he didn't pass his polygraph test. Before you saw the apparition on your...
Despite the definitive results of the exam, David Ray is adamant. His tape is real, and he is telling the truth.
Out into some type of apparition. I don't know. There it went.
Could the machine have made a mistake? David Ray says yes. So we agreed to give him another chance. A second polygraph exam in a different place with a different examiner.
Did you or any...
No matter what the outcome, a polygraph can't explain what's on that videotape. For testing, the tape has been turned over to an expert at Brooks Institute of Photography in California. What will his computerized analysis reveal about the unusual orbs?
There appears to be no attempt to try to create something out of nothing.
What do you think? Is the videotape a fake? Or will David Ray's evidence of a ghost be judged proof positive? You'll find out later in the show. Next, after a lifetime of alien abduction episodes, a woman may finally have evidence that her experiences are real.